What's up, you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to do this video right quick because I don't got that much storage, so I want to make it quick. But I'm encouraging you guys to fast more and to pray more, whether that be fasting from food, fasting from social media, fasting from certain foods, even if you don't go on like a complete no food for a whole day fast, because it's baby steps. And one thing about me as a person who had to take those baby steps as well to get closer to God, it really was through fasting and prayer. And I remember I used to hear this girl, I think it was Shannon. I have seen her video, and it was last year when I was in the beginning of this like wilderness season, and I'm like, fasting and prayer. You're saying the only way I can get my blessings and everything is fasting and prayer. Who wants to fast? I'm telling y'all, I used to be that very girl that just be like, what? Like, come on. But now I get it, because it's like when you free up your mind and free up your space and your energy from other things that could possibly be polluting you, even though you might not think it is. Like with social media, a lot of us need to go on social media fast. And that was one of my very first fasts I did. I deleted Instagram and Facebook. I didn't delete YouTube because at that time I was still posting on my YouTube, but I deleted Instagram and Facebook because I was on it too much. Anything that you're on too much, anything that you feel like you can't live without, you need to fast from it. If you feel like you can't stop eating a certain food, you need to fast from it. Even if at first you can't go on a complete 24-hour no food fast, or you feel like you can't do a complete 8 hours with just no eating or whatever, you have to do baby steps and then increase it. So right now, you might not be able to do a no food for 24 hours fast, but maybe try intermittent fast and try only eating for an 8-hour window and closing off all the rest of the time. What is that, like 16? I don't know how many hours that is. 19, yeah, 16. But maybe try that. Try fasting from social media. Whatever it is that you feel like you can't live without. Prophetic words is the big thing nowadays. And if you depending too much on the word of anybody, I don't care who it is, myself included, any of your favorite people that you like to watch online for encouragement. Because like I said in my video, that shorts video yesterday, is like we put too much faith into other people for them to relay messages of God, for them to tell us what our next step should be, when ultimately the only person we need to be seeking that from is God. And if you're having a hard time hearing from God, it's because you're not consistent enough with him. You're not consistent enough with communicating with him. You can't think that you're just going to talk to him one day or pray one day and then all of a sudden he just going to hurry up and speak back to you. It's truly about building a relationship, you guys. And when you build a relationship, you have to talk to a person. And you also have to learn to shut your mouth so that they can communicate back to you. And sometimes just think of it in a relationship. And I use regular relationships because we all have been in a regular relationship, even if it's just like a family member. You've been in there, and you know how you'll get into, something, and then it might take a couple hours or maybe a couple days for everybody to cool off, for you to even receive what the person was saying, because in a moment you just thinking they're attacking you and you thinking that they don't, love you or whatever the feeling it is. But then when you wait a couple days, you clear your mind, you go on a walk, you get space, you clear out your energy, you get some revelation, and you get to have some insight on what actually went on, what they actually were saying. You're able to hear them better now when they come back ready to talk. Because sometimes when you're in a moment, it's like, it's just too much, and it's emotions flying everywhere. Your feelings is all over the place. So, so you have to clear up. You have to allow God time to talk to you. And because God, one thing about it is, he has feelings too. And he doesn't want to just be used just for blessings. He wants you to really consistently seek him. Consistently. Don't just think you could pray one day out of 7 days. Pray for a quick little 3 minutes. Oh, God, please just remove me from this situation. And then think he's automatically going to do it right then and there. Like, you can't trick God, and you can't manipulate him. You can't manipulate him. Like, he knows you. He knows everything you're going to do. You can't trick him. So you have to go with a pure heart to God. You have to be pure in heart when you go to him for whatever it is. Whatever, you know, if you're praying for deliverance, if you're praying for restoration of a family, of things you lost, or whatever it is, you have to go with a pure heart, because you cannot trick the man. He knows he knows you. He knows your heart. He judges the heart. He knows intentions. He knows the intentions behind every human. Every human. He knows our intentions. So you can't trick him and think, oh, if I just say a prayer today, I'm going to get grace. So if I just go out and do a good deed today, that's going to just that's just going to make up for all the bad I did yesterday. That's not how it works, baby. I'm sorry to tell you, that's not how it works. Many wicked people do good deeds. You can't, it's no trick in this process. And this is why he will take us in these wilderness seasons and let us stay there for years and years and years until we learn. Until we learn certain things. And I'm telling you, as a person who went through it, thinking I can just pray, start praying because I want to be rich, and just pray, you know, and only wanting the material blessings. And then he sent me on a journey to see are you really down with me? I'm not going to bless you until I see, because in the beginning, and this is real talk. In the beginning, I really was only seeking the relationship so I can get rich, because I really do want to be rich. So it's like, I was like, okay, let me pray, because I heard another girl saying, you know, she give all her thanks to God about why she's rich. And that one lady, boss lady, I was like, I'm willing to do whatever it is that she did, because I want to be up there too. I just want to be rich so I can take care of my family too. And even though I do still want to be rich to take care of my family and to be able to just have the freedom that comes with having the finances to cover things, it was deeper than that. So that's why he sent me on this spiritual journey. You know, he got me away from everybody, sent me into isolation. It's so I can truly learn the true benefit of having him in my life, the true benefit of knowing that there is a God, there is a higher power, and to know that when you have no one, and even when you do have others, to still put him first, because there's nothing that a human can do that God can't do. God is more powerful than any human being, and we'll rely so much on humans for things, not realizing that God is the one who even gave them the gift of gab to be able to do whatever it is that you're doing. Things that you're relying on the government for, things that you rely on. God is the source. God gave these things to these people. The government officials, we put so much, you know, I'm getting off a little bit, but I'll get back on track. But we put so much into the government. We put so much into jobs and everything, when, let's be clear, the money that we all be chasing after, it's paper. It's paper. Where does paper come from? It comes from the trees that God created. Everything that we literally need to live comes from God's creations. Come from the source. God is the source. All these places and people are the resource. They're the resource. They're vessels that he may use. But everything starts with God, because this is his creation. He created the earth. He created the soil. These trees can't grow without the soil. These trees can't grow without the water that he pours down on them. These trees can't do that. Even with your farmers, the water that they get for their irrigation systems comes from the ground, comes from the water underneath the earth, come from these lakes, these rivers, these oceans. It comes from God's creation. So God is at the forefront of everything. And on this journey, you have to give up things to get things. So you have to be, look at in the Bible, all the sacrifices that were made. You have to make a sacrifice. You have to bring your offering. What is your offering to God? What are you willing to give up for him? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up social media for a little bit? Even if it's not for a long while, God wants you to consistently fast, because consistently fasting from things that you think you need will bring you closer to him, will allow you to get rid of distractions so that you can hear him. Praying consistently. What did they attack Daniel for? They hated on Daniel for wanting to pray 3 times a day. And this is why I say I pray all day, every day. It ain't necessarily that I get on my knees and just open the Bible and do like some type of like ritual type prayer. I can be walking outside. Every day I go walking, and I just recently started, adding jogging to it. And when I'm walking, when I'm outside, I'll be just talking. I just be talking to God. Like, it doesn't have to be, it's such a thing for me now that I don't think about it. I just do it. It's not something that I just plan to do. Like, I have certain set times. Yes, in the mornings I pray, and at night I pray because I'm grateful for God getting me home at night. When I'm coming from different places, when, I'm out here in the world, I pray in the morning to set the tone for my day. And then throughout the day, I'll say a prayer. When something happens, and especially if I'm out walking outside and it's so hot and I don't pass out because my head get to hurting from the heat, and I just start talking to God just in gratitude, thanking just for that, thanking just for giving me my body parts and having my body parts functioning properly. Like, you have to show gratitude. You have to just be willing to make sacrifices. You have to be willing to clear out your energy. And this is why I said, practice fasting. Whether it's fasting from social media, fasting from certain kinds of foods. They have the Daniel fast. They have, I've done so many types of fasts. And honestly, it's harder for me to do the Daniel fast than it is to do the 3-day no food fast. Honestly, and I really do. I want to even do that. I want to get through a complete 21-day Daniel fast. I want to do that. It's like I challenge myself, and I challenge you to challenge yourself to go without these things. Anything that you feel like you can't live without. You feel like you can't live without that weed, go on a weed fast for a minute. 3 days, 7 days. And honestly, I'm telling you, if you feel like you can't, whatever it is you feel like you can't do, when you get through it, you're gonna feel like, wow, it's gonna boost you a little bit, and not in like where you feel like you're superior, but it gives you a sense of, wow, I can do this. I can do it. It makes God proud, but it's also gonna make you proud. And through the process, you're going to grow closer because you're getting rid of the distractions. You don't realize a lot of the things that we are distracted with in our life holds us back from us being able to get closer to God and work in our purpose and get revelation of what he wants us to do, because we full of distractions. Pat, can you not stop making all that noise on my video? So go without watching TV for 3 days. Go without sex for 7 days. If you feel like if you feel like you can't go without sex, then that's something you need to go. If you're a nympho and you feel like, oh, I can't go without sex for that long, you need to do it. And I might talk about it in another video. I might just say it now. Like, me going without sex, like, I can't believe I'm still in it. I have not had sex since September 17, 2021, because that was my birthday. And that was the last time I had sex, is when I was in Maryland, and it was on my birthday. It was that morning, and I ain't had sex since September 17, 2021, that morning. It was early in the morning. And me removing sex from my life, honestly, I realized each time that I have went without sex, come on, because you're distracting. Every time because the first time I ever went a long period without sex, it was like 8 months. And then I went back into having, sex or whatever. And this is the longest. And each time that I have went without it, it's opened up my mind. It's allowed me to get clearer thinking, because of the feelings and all of the hormones that go along with sex is not clouding my judgment. So through doing that, through getting rid of that, I've been awakened. I've had the awakenings. Every time that I've left toxicity, every time that I've gotten alone, me going into isolation has always done more good for me than harm, because it has awakened me. It has allowed me to put that same energy into other things that is more productive, more conducive to me growing and elevating in whatever my baby keep interrupting, y'all. She keep interrupting. see. But every time, every time that I have went without and been in isolation, it has allowed me to have a clearer thought process. You know, then when I stop watching TV, you know, I've been able to think clear. When I stop being on social media all day, you know, you have to get rid of those things that are distractions, because we don't realize, for one, how much time we're wasting. And when you're giving all of that time to these other things, it's taking away time that you need to be either given to God through to having your prayer time, through giving time to yourself, giving time to your family, giving time to your household duties. You're giving too much time to other things. But you could be using that same time to do things that will actually help you in the long run. She's really distracting me, you guys. I'm about to, but it's the thing, she follows me, so it's like I will go back into my own room, but she's just gonna follow me. That's why I brought her in here, so she can write on her stuff without bothering me. And she's getting on my nerves. But Aubrey, can you be quiet? You know, I'm gonna have to end this video because she's talking too much. But go into a fast. Start small, but over time, start incorporating different type of fast. Fast from anything that you feel like you can't live without. Fast without it. Even at one point, you see, like, even with the nails, I do my nails again now, but for a while I had stopped wearing the nails. I love wearing my nails though. That's part of me. I love wearing it. But I went without it. It's like, it could be so small. Things that you feel like you can't live without. But what does God want? He wants big sacrifices, big offerings. We see how Cain and Abel's situation went. Cain offered the little offering. Abel offered the big thing. So be willing to give up something big, not something minute like nails. But even with that, you feel like you can't go without weave. You feel like you can't go without makeup. You feel like you can't go without carbs. Because y'all know that's a big one for me. But I have to constantly, it's a constant thing. You feel like you can't go without sex. You feel like you can't go without TV. You feel like you can't go without whatever. You got to be willing to make a big offering. I made a big offering to God by leaving everything behind in Maryland. I sold my car, left the apartment behind, gave up everything, gave up all my stuff, everything, all my material possessions that I felt like I couldn't live without. You know, a lot of us are hoarders. Sorry, you guys. I hope you guys were still able to hear without her shenanigans. But I gave up a lot. I sacrificed a lot. Still making sacrifices, and through doing these things, through giving up these things, I get more and more insight through reading my word, through fasting, through praying. Every time I get more downloads, my spiritual gift gets increased, and that's how you get your stuff increased. You have to constantly do it. It's just something that is not like a one-time thing. She knocking on my door. See, she messed me up, y'all, but be willing to go without. Be willing to give up something for something greater. And it's nothing greater than having that close-knit relationship with God. And yeah, you just want to really clear out your energy, clear out your space. You know, that's what I was getting ready to say, because a lot of us hold on to things. A lot of us are very materialistic. You might think you're not materialistic, but you don't realize how many, just because, maybe like high-end designer, but you don't realize how materialistic you are until you have to lose all your stuff. Because I have realized that about me. I'm not materialistic to the point where I care about designer, like big name brands, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, all that. But I still like things. I love things. And it made me realize that on this journey that I do love things. But do I love these things more than God? No. I remember when I was doing my vision board video, I was like, I'll lose anything and everything as long as I don't gotta lose God. And he was like, oh yeah? And he tested me and sent me on the journey where I left everything. I lost everything. you know, but I've appreciated having him here with me throughout the whole journey, you know. So it's definitely more of a blessing to have God with you than all these materialistic things and all these people and places that you feel like you can't live without. You need God more than you need any and every other thing in this world, you know. So I'm gonna leave it there because I ran out of storage. And I'll see you guys in the next video. But practice more fasting and praying consistently. Talk consistently. That is how you grow a relationship with anybody, is through your communication skills. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.